What's good, my baby? Okay, so I really, really, really wanted to make a video earlier. I even tried and all of that, and that wasn't a move. Tell me why I just realized what the video was. Like I'm gonna break down the story. Okay, so backstory first. Tell me why a couple of days ago actually I was just chilling, sitting in my room and stuff, and I started thinking. I started thinking because like I'm getting older, and I want to start a family. I want to have kids, and I was I was thinking about my younger self. I was thinking about the younger me or whatever, like 18 to 23, 18 to 23, and I was thinking about how I got on birth control, and I was like I had to lay hands on my body and just apologize to myself. Like, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, Jayla. I'm sorry, womb. I'm sorry, children. I'm sorry, eggs. I am so sorry for putting y'all through that. I'm sorry for putting y'all through trauma. I'm sorry for putting y'all through trauma for my own selfish whatever the fuck. Like whatever I was going through when I lost my virginity and was fucking and all this kind of other shit and fucking with motherfuckers that I'm like, you know what, I don't want to have your baby. I'm not gonna have your baby and shit like that. Um, and I subjected my body to chemicals, and women are born with all of their eggs already. So I'm just like, I'm sorry for poisoning all my future potential kids and stuff like that. I'm sorry for poisoning myself, poisoning my body. Um, all for the desires to feel a man. You feel me? I was just like, oh, Jayla. And I was like, I forgive myself. Like, I'm not about to sit here and beat myself up. Ooh, none of that. But I'm just like, you know what? When I had kids, I'm really going to talk to them. Like, I remember when I had, like, I only ever had one boyfriend. And I remember I was telling him, like, I said, if I had kids or whatever, I really want to talk to them. Like, talk to them and tell them, like, what sex really is. Like, sex is, it binds you to people. You can use it as a form of manipulation, use people and stuff like that. It's a very, very dangerous sport. It's a very dangerous sport because you can fuck around and create a whole another life. You can fuck around and end up with something that, you cannot get rid of. It can be painful, all kind of stuff. Like I'm gonna just sit down and tell my kids the real. I'm gonna sit down and tell them the real. And then it's so, oh fuck, I got it. I didn't cut myself. Shit. Fuck, 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 fuck. I knew I was gonna fuck around and start bleeding. I'm happy I cleaned it. Damn it. Fuck around with this chair. But anyway, I was 'cause I just looked at my hand and I saw blood. I'm like, fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. I cut myself. So yeah. Anyway. Um, I was just thinking about that, and then a couple of days ago, I was just laying in the bed. It had to be like 2 days ago. I was laying in the bed and I was thinking like, I'm done having sex. I'm done. I am fucking done having sex because it's really not. Like I said, it's not a beneficial sport for real. It's not like I'm really getting nothing out of it. I just burped. Really not getting nothing out of it. And in all honesty, I only had sex maybe once a year for the past 4 years. One fucking time. One time. It don't be good. It be a waste of my time and all this kind of other shit. So I'm just like, you know what? I was like, Jaylee, you done fucking. You're not about to be out here on that. Like, you smooth, you cool. You ain't gotta do it. So I was like, and you've been out of that energy for a while. Like you just been off that type of time for a long time. Because I remember like at one point I felt like I was a nymphomaniac. I felt like I was like a sex addict. Like I was just craving it. Like it was just horrible. It was like at a very low place in my life. I feel as though like I was sexually hungry, like craving affection and stuff like that and touching something. No, that's not that's not normal. To me that's not normal. And just so happened to get on Facebook or whatever, and I seen a like a reel, and it was a guy. He was talking about some. He was referencing the story. Is that a hawk? Yes, I literally been out here looking for these hawks all fucking day, and you are gorgeous, gorgeous. That's either a hawk or that's a vulture. It's big as shit. I love it. Anyway, so tell me why the guy he was referencing a couple that he knew. Long story short, it was a man whose wife, who had a wife that wanted to donate bone marrow, and they low key end up telling the husband like, your wife cannot donate bone marrow because of your DNA is so intertwined with your wives, like because of the sex y'all have, like y'all have that much sex that your DNA is intertwined into hers. And I started thinking about that. Like I sat on it and I meditated with it for a little minute. And I was like, that's the reason why they tell you not to have sex before marriage, because you taking on somebody else's DNA. And with DNA, it's tricky because you never know what part of their DNA you are taking on. You could be taking on sicknesses. You could be taking on personality traits. You could be taking on curses. You could be taking on any motherfucking thing you land down with these people. That's why they say those soul ties and all that shit is real. You are literally taking somebody's DNA and then you are giving somebody your DNA. And when I was meditating and pondering on the information I had just received, I was thinking about the boyfriend that I had. This is the only person that ever told me this. He told me, like, I remember the first time we had sex and I smelled like him. Like I smelled him on my body. And he was one of the only guys I ever could smell on me after having sex. Like I was taking a shower, all of them. Like, bro, I smell like this nigga, and I did not like his smell. Like it wasn't like, you know, like sometimes you can fuck around and get BV, fuck around with a nigga. It wasn't a fishy smell, but it smelled like him. And then we just so happened to end up having a conversation, and he was like, tell me why I just keep taking showers and I keep washing myself off, but I can't get your scent off me. I'm like, what you mean? He's like, I smell like you. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. They're like, no, it doesn't smell bad or anything, because I know my shit smell good. But he was just like I keep trying to wash you off of me, but I smell you on me. And like, I don't know, I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking about that. Like that's so crazy. You literally take on a person's DNA. You take on a person's DNA when you have intercourse with them. What you know that because you know they're either you're entering somebody or they're entering you, whatever the fuck. But to the point that it shows up in your bones, I'm like, oh. So sex really is deeper than what we know it to be. And I also said, I'm going to stop being disrespectful. I'm going to stop being disrespectful to myself, my parents, and anybody that has ever been born and created, because I used to say, you know, a child is half of the mom, half of the dad. No. When you in that room and you fucking, you coming as a whole vessel and they coming as a whole vessel. You are literally a complete version of your mother, a complete version of your father that came together and created a completely different person, a completely different being. You feel me? And I'm just like, you know what, Jayla? Mm-mm, mm-mm. This shit really is deeper than what we know it to be sometimes, or what we believe it to be, because sex can be very uplifting. It can be very comforting. It can be just be it's a lot of things that come behind it, but it also can be uh, it's literally for you can create something. You can create somebody. You feel me? You can use sex to manifest whatever you want and all kind of shit. But it's like that's a very powerful act. And I was a couple of months ago, I was watching like a Sexy Red video or like an interview she had or whatever, and she was saying like they was asking her like, what are one of your hidden talents and stuff like that. And she was saying like like she basically like a porn star, that she can fuck like a motherfucker. And I was thinking a couple weeks ago actually, I was like, actually, like I'm probably very bad in bed. I know like I have my private parts are good or whatever. But I'm probably bad in bed because I'm inexperienced. Like that's something that you kind of gotta work at to be good at. And I was never really athletic and all this kind of other shit. And I'm like, nobody wants to take the time to teach somebody how to have sex. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to, be patient with people I come in contact with. Nobody want to be patient with my black ass. And then this is the last point. This is the last thing I'm gonna bring up that I can remember right now. But it's a lady I've been giving readings to. And long story short, she's been having intimacy problems with her husband. And she was telling me, because I was thinking about making this video earlier, but I was thinking about when she was telling me like she lost her virginity young, like she lost her virginity when she was a teenager. So by the time she met her husband, she told me she was trained. She knew what she wanted. She knew what she wanted to do, and da 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 da. Her husband was a virgin, so she had to kind of like teach him how to do this and da 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 do that. And she was telling me like she's very sexually driven, motivated, da 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 da. And her husband, he's not that. Like sex isn't all of that for him. Like she was telling me at one point it was going months without sex and stuff like that. And I was like, in my mind, I was thinking like to other people that would be weird, but to me that's beautiful because you got somebody that they don't that's not a requirement. On her end, it's a requirement for her to have sex and da 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 da. Like she feel like she need it, but on his end, it's just like it don't matter if I get it or if I don't get it. And she know he's been faithful to her. Like it's no doubt in her mind that he hasn't been faithful in a marriage. But it's just like it's crazy.